Welcome to President Lazarus Chakwera has asked development partners to assist Malawi in conducting an independent probe into the accident of a military plane that claimed the lives of 9 people, including the Vice President Dr. Saulos Chilima. Minister of Information Moses Kunkuyu has disclosed that this at a press briefing Thursday evening that the President met a number of development partners at Kamuzu Palace, where he made the appeal. At the press briefing, Kunkuyu also revealed that the Malawi Defense Force has initiated its investigation. Kunkuyu explains.
The President will again lead the nation, lead the procession of that will be carrying the body to Bingu Stadium. We did announce that we were talking about Civil Stadium, but now there is a change. We have moved to Bingu Stadium. We're looking at the capacity of the stadium and other factors. The Malawi Defense Force has put in place a board and given it the mandate to carry out an inquiry into what caused the crash.
President Lazarus Chakwera has described the late Patricia Shanil Dzimbiri as a hard-working woman who changed the lives of many through her works. Local Government Minister Richard Chimwendo Banda made the remarks on behalf of President Chakwera in Lilongwe when collecting the body of the late Dzimbiri for burial on Friday in her home district, Balaka. Dixon Chivati Gondwe reports.
Downcast faces dominated hundreds of people that gathered at Sunset Mortuary in Lilongwe to collect the bodies for burial, including that of the former First Lady, Patricia Shanil Dzimbiri. President Lazarus Chakwera, former Presidents Bakiri Muluza and Joyce Banda led Malawians in decorating the late Dzimbiri. In his eulogy on behalf of President Lazarus Chakwera, Local Government Minister Richard Chimwendo Banda described Shanil Dzimbiri as a patriotic Malawian who has left an indelible mark. Dr. Dalitso Kabambe, who represented former President Peter Mutharika, said Shanil Dzimbiri was a strong woman who stood for her country in a number of ways.
His Excellency, the former President, is in deep shock, but also as a DPP, the party is in deep shock and grief, mourning the loss of our Vice President, as well as the former First Lady and many others who have lost their lives. I think it's a tragedy that we find ourselves in.
Madam Patricia Shanil Dzimbiri, Colonel Owen Sambalopa, Major Florence Seremani, Major Wars Aidini will be laid to rest on Friday, while Lucas Kapeni, Inspector Jisomo Shimaneni, and Dan Kanyemba were buried on Thursday. Dixon Chivwati Gondwe, Zodiac News, Lilongwe.
Quick! Ma! Eat! Services! Eat! Goes up! Eat!
Meanwhile, bodies of 3 more victims of the plane crash have been laid to rest Thursday. Our reporter Western Guta was at the burial ceremony of the late Vice President Saulos Chilima's medical aide Dan Kanyemba in Shiwala village in Senior Chief Chiseka's area in Lilongwe.
Minister of Justice Titus Mvalo, who was accompanied by Tourism Minister Vera Kantukule and Deputy Water Minister Liana Chapota, has said that at 35, the late Dan Kanyemba was yet to reach his full potential in his contribution to the country, as he had a promising future.
He is extremely saddened by this death of a very young man who had a promising future. And it is death that has shocked the president, and he was keen to see that he got a befitting burial.
Speaking for the bereaved family, Group Village Headman Mankamba said that the late Kanyemba will be remembered for hard work and the spirit of giving, especially for encouraging and supporting young relations to go to school to become fruitful citizens. Dan Kanyemba was doctor for Vice President Salo Silima, who also died on Monday in the plane crash together with 7 other people in Chikangawa Forest. I'm Western Guta in Lilongwe.
Government has urged people in the country to peacefully mourn victims of the plane crash which claimed the life of Vice President and others, and desist from speculating fake news. Minister of Health Kumbise Kandodo Chiponda was speaking today at the burial of the late Shilima's Guard Commander Lucas Kapeni. The late Kapeni, 46, was laid to rest at his home village of Mazinga in the area of Senior Chief Sante in Kasungu. Noah Nkubwi reports.
People from all walks of life converged on Mazinga village in the aid of Senior Chief Sante in Kasungu to pay their last respect to the late Lucas Kapeni and to his death in a plane crash which also claimed the life of the country's vice president. Kapeni was the guard commander for the vice president. The mood was somber and tears were irresistible as the remains of the late Lucas Kapeni were lowered to its final home. Minister of Health Kumbise Kandodo Chiponda said the death of Kapeni and 8 others is a national tragedy. She says the country's president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, is urging people to mourn the departed peacefully without speculating fake news. Senior Chief Sant of the area said the sudden demise of Kapeni has left many people in shock. She described the deceased as cheerful, God-fearing, and a role model to many in the area. The late Lucas Kapeni, who died at the age of 46, joined the Malay Police Service in 2002. Among other high-profile figures who attended the burial ceremony were Minister of Transport Jacob Buhara, Minister of Finance Simplex Chichora Banda, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament Madai Tsogazombo, to mention but a few. Reporting for ZBS from Mazinga Village in Kasungu, this is Noah Nkubwi.
You are watching the news on Zodiac with me, Leah Malikano. We'll be back shortly.
Join the conversation as senior government officials, institutional investors, business leaders, fund and asset managers, risk professionals, academia, as well as many other key stakeholders convene at the BICC in Lilongwe on the 19th and 20th June for the inaugural Malawi ESG Integration and Investment Forum, a first of its kind in the country to forge a robust and resilient economic trajectory for Malawi through ESG adoption. Be part of the change makers paving a path towards an inclusive, thriving and sustainable economy. To register, contact us on the details appearing on your screen.
Alimi mbili akupindula ndulimi wa mbatata yofira nkati, orange fresh, sweet potato, moti ndalama siku watalikira. Mabanja awo ali ndi matupi ya tanzi. Mbatata ya kolowa yofira nkati ili ndi vitamin A yemwe amonjezera chitetezo nthupi, kupatsa nyonga ndi kuthandiza kuti matupi azikhala osalala komanso maso adziona bwino. Mutha kupeza phindu pogulitsa mbewu ya mbatatayi komanso kupanga kuchokera ku mbatatayo ufa, mandasi, zitumbuwa, makeke ndi zina. Mbatata yofira nkati payoka ndi chakudya chokhutitsa zedi. Ubwino wina ndi woti mbewu ya mbatatayi imapirira kung'amba, zimangofunika kukonzekera mbewuyo mwachangu. Imachita bwino madera onse m'dziko muno podalira mvula komanso ulimi wa nthirira. Mbatata yofira nkati ndi chuma, chakudya komanso tanzi. Uthengawu akukupatsirani da International Potato Center ndi thandizo lochokera ku the Embassy of Ireland komanso 1CGIAR ku projekti ya Ukama Ustawi.
Welcome. Now, the body of the late Chisomo Shimaneni, who died in a plane crash alongside the country's Vice President Saulos Chilima and 7 others on Monday this week in Chikangawa Forest in Nzimba, has now been laid to rest at his Shimaneni village under Senior Chief Chiloko in Nchisi district. And speaking in an interview with the Zodiac Homeland and Security Minister Ken Zikalingoma said the law enforcement agency has lost a man who was so dedicated when assigned to do several duties. Henderson Charles Msusa filed this report.
At exactly 4:30 p.m., the body of the late Chisomo Chimanini was lowered into its final destination in the Senior Chief Chiloko in Nchisi district. In his eulogy, the Homeland and Security Minister Ken Zikalingoma said the country has lost a police officer who was dedicated when given several assignments. He then described him, Dr. Saulos Chilima, and the 7 others as heroes because they died whilst in the line of duty.
I'm looking at them as heroes because they died for the country. A death that carried a vice president of this country, and they were on duty. As such, I thought maybe these people are special to Malawians and they will never be forgotten. They have left a mark, a history, that a legacy, I would put it, that everybody, and even people, our children, will learn about it. Because it's the first time in Malawi for a plane to crash and killing such a grouping that was elite.
A family member, Alex Kalumbe, said they have lost someone who was helping them in so many ways. Chimanini, who has died at the age of 38, is survived by a wife and 2 children. Chimanini, who was one of the security officers for the late Vice President Dr. Saulos Chilima and 7 others, were on their way to attend the funeral ceremony of former Attorney General Ralph Kasambara in Katabe district.
And as the country is still mourning the death of the late Vice President Dr. Saulos Klaus Chilima, Evangelical Association of Malawi has appealed to the public to exercise peace and unity until the burial ceremony. Speaking to Zodiac on Thursday, General Secretary for Evangelical Association of Malawi, Reverend Francis Nkandawire, said as EAM, they are shocked with the death but asked the public to be calm and accept the situation as it is God's will. He further added that they have dedicated a whole month to hold special prayers, begging God's guidance for the country not to lose hope. Reverend Francis Nkandawire explains.
We want to appeal specifically to Malawians. This is a time when the emotions are very, very high. We need to be careful. We have a nation before us. Let's not destroy our nation. So we are really asking that at this particular time, we let's maintain peace. Let's maintain unity. There may be a lot of unanswered questions and so on, but let's maintain order. Let's maintain peace. Let's not do anything that will destroy our country. And connected to this, we want to really appeal to Malawians to be careful, especially when it comes to social media. What are we posting? And is it something that is building up or building the nation or tearing the nation apart? And let's not entertain people's views that are destructive, views that only divide us, views that bring divisions, and those ones we should never entertain. There are people who are sitting there with fake news, trying to destroy the nation. They don't like to see unity. They don't like to see people working together. I think let's not entertain them. And let's desist from that.
Authorities at Stefanos Foundation Vocational Training College have asked young people in Malawi to stop depending on handouts or waiting to be employed, but urgently decide to venture into farming. Speaking during the graduation of 40 edible horticulture agriculture students on Thursday, the college's principal Chimwemwe Deben Nyerenda said farming is the easiest way to achieve self-reliance and sustainable socio-economic development in Malawi. And now we turn to sports. Fourteen Malawian chess players are said to leave the country tomorrow to participate in the 2024 African Youth Chess Championship, scheduled to take place in South Africa from 15th to 23rd June 2024. According to Chess Association of Malawi Publicity Secretary Francisco Mwangupiri, the 14 are from different schools and hope the game of chess will continue growing through the tournament, which gives the players international exposure. Bright Kanyama has filed this report.
14 Malawian youths are set to participate in the 2024 African Youth Chess Championship, scheduled to take place in Gauteng, South Africa from 15th to 23rd June 2024. The tournament has registered players from 18 countries, with Malawi inclusive. It will feature under 18 players competing in girls and open categories across 6 age groups, thus under 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and under 18. Malawian players will compete in under 8, 10, 12, 14 and 16 categories. According to Chess Association of Malawi's Publicity Secretary Francisco Mwangupiri, out of the 14 players, 6 are sponsored by Pixas Agriculture and Alliance One through the Chess in Schools project, while others have been sponsored by Chessam, Dada's Academy and their parents. He says this is an opportunity to expose players to international chess.
In participating in international tournaments, our players are exposed to international competition, which motivates them, and they get a feel of what it is like to compete at an international level. They get motivated. Of course, some might even perform well. Some might learn lessons. It gives them a touch of how international competition is like, and generally when they come back home, they have a story to tell, and also their chess generally improves. 3 officials are expected to accompany the team, thus Chessam Vice President Francis Kudzula, National Schools Coordinator Margaret Ngugama, and Peter Nyama, who will be the trainer of the players. For Zodiac, this is Bright Kanyama.
And that's about what we had